The rusted iron of the Otter Creek Road Bridge loomed against the inky blackness like a skeletal ribcage against the night sky. A chill wind, laced with the scent of decaying leaves and damp earth, whipped at the faces of the 5 investigators as they huddled beneath the bridge. Leading the team was Sarah, a seasoned paranormal investigator with eyes that held the weary weight of countless sleepless nights spent chasing shadows. Beside her stood Jake, the tech guy, his fingers nervously twitching over the array of recording devices strapped to his backpack. Completing the group were Emily, the skeptic intern, ever ready with a sarcastic quip, and the twins, Ben and Alex. Their youthful enthusiasm barely concealed by the professional equipment they clutched. Their target, the legend of the Weeping Woman of Otter Creek. Locals whispered tales of a spectral figure, eternally bound to the bridge after a tragic car accident years ago. Her mournful cries, they claimed, echoed through the valley, a chilling serenade to the unsuspecting traveler. Tonight, the team was determined to capture proof of her existence. As Sarah outlined the plan, the silence was broken only by the creak of the bridge swaying in the wind. They would split into pairs, combing the bridge for EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, while monitoring temperature fluctuations and magnetic field disturbances. Sarah and Jake would take the center, the heart of the bridge, while Emily paired up with Ben, and Alex explored the surrounding woods for any potential activity. The air grew thick with tension as they started. Sarah and Jake moved cautiously, the EMF reader spitting out erratic readings at certain points. On the recorder, whispers seemed to rise and fall on the wind, indistinguishable human voices lost in the static. Meanwhile, Emily's skepticism faltered as she followed Ben across the bridge. A sudden gust of wind slammed against them, extinguishing Ben's flashlight. They were plunged into utter darkness, the sound of rushing water from the creek below a bone-chilling constant. A cold hand, slick and clammy, clamped onto Emily's wrist. She let out a scream that echoed through the night. Ben's voice, frantic, cut through the darkness. "Emily, what's wrong?" His flashlight flickered on, revealing no one beside Emily. But the cold remained, a lingering touch that sent shivers down her spine. Back at the center, Sarah and Jake too had encountered something unsettling. The EMF reader went berserk, its needle spinning wildly. On the screen, a figure materialized, a hazy outline of a woman with flowing hair, her face obscured by static. As if summoned by the technology, a blood-curdling scream ripped through the night. It wasn't the high-pitched wail they had expected. This was a guttural roar, primal and filled with rage. The bridge groaned, shaking violently. Panic surged through them. Sarah grabbed Jake, yelling for the others to regroup. But their worst nightmare unfolded before them. Ben and Alex weren't there. Frantic calls went unanswered. The darkness seemed to swallow them whole. The bridge continued to tremble, the wind howling like a banshee. Then a sickening thud echoed from the creek below. Rushing to the edge, their flashlights illuminated a horrifying scene. Alex lay sprawled on the rocky bank, his eyes wide with terror, a single tire track emblazoned across his chest. Beside him, Ben was missing. Only his flashlight flickered on a rock nearby. Grief and terror warred within Sarah. An undeniable truth clawed its way into her mind. The bridge wasn't haunted by a woman, it was the bridge itself. A place of tragic accidents, it fed off the fear and despair of its victims, manipulating the environment to lure them in and claim them. Sarah knew they had to leave. Grabbing Alex, who lay in a state of shock, they sprinted back to their van. As they sped away, Sarah cast one last look at the bridge. It stood defiant, the wind whistling a chilling tune. But for a fleeting second, she thought she saw a figure standing on the railing, a dark silhouette against the pale moonlight. And for the first time that night, the figure wasn't Alex, nor Ben. It was a woman, her long hair streaming in the wind, her head tilted back in a silent scream. Back at the station, huddled over the recordings, they found their chilling evidence. A single word whispered across the static on every recorder they used. "Help." And a faint, almost imperceptible sigh, followed by an unsettling crackle. It was the sound of the bridge, hungry for its next victim. The investigation into the Otter Creek Road Bridge remained unsolved. Alex, haunted by the experience, disappeared shortly after. And Sarah? Her eyes, once filled with determination, now held a deep-seated fear. The bridge had shown her the terrifying truth that some places are not simply haunted. They are malevolent entities themselves. The legend of the Weeping Woman of Otter Creek morphed into a chilling tale of the bridge itself. Paranormal investigators whispered of Sarah's experience, a cautionary tale passed down through the community. The bridge remained closed, a rusted monument to the dangers that lurk in the shadows, a silent scream trapped within its cold steel bones.